Hi everyone, it's Liv and welcome back to another video. It's peacefully snowing outside and I've spent the day decorating the barn for Christmas, and that gave me the idea to do a Christmas barn tour. Before I move on, I must apologize for the horrible lighting in this video. The sun in Norway has just not decided to come out, and the wintertime makes everything a lot darker, so I'm sorry about that, but we're just going to have to deal with it. Also, I apologize for my small hiatus. I haven't been feeling like making these types of videos for a while, but I'm very happy to be back for this one. Alright, enough rambling on, now let's get on with the tour. Okay, so let's start in the feed room area. So in this corner we of course have our sink, that has not changed much, and we also have a water bowls for the many dogs that come visit. Over top we have a notice board, and we have a few Christmas cards on there, along with a Christmas show poster, which I really hope this show won't be cancelled, but it might be because of this specific virus you may have heard about. Moving on, we have this shelf with a lot of different products on it. In the top shelf we keep some fly spray, also some shampoo, and there seems to be a bag of treats in the corner. Underneath we have a first aid pouch, some band-aids, some supplements, and some apples. Under there we have a hoof pick, some treats, and some supplements in the bottom there. And on top we have a speaker, which these days only plays Christmas music, which I'm a big fan of. Moving on, we have this table, which is very practical for many things. We have our calendar, of course set at December. We also have our 4 Advent lights, which is a Norwegian tradition. We have some magazines in the corner there. Also, I was drinking some hot cocoa. We have a planner and also a cutting board with some apples and carrots. Over the table, we keep our feed chart. And we actually finally got a clock, which has been really nice. We actually didn't have that before. In the left corner, we keep our large wooden feed box. Now I actually have a small story time about this box. As you can see, it's completely empty, and that's because this is not the original one that's been in my other videos. This is a new one, because the old one that we had all our feed in was infested by bug larvae. So we had to clean out the entire barn, and it was a huge mess. Luckily now everything is fixed, there is no more bug larvae, and we're going to fill this with feed pretty soon. Anyways, on top of the feed box we have a bucket with some carrots, we have a baby bottle for any foals, we have some oil supplements, a little jar with carrots, and also a light. And then over the feed box we have our prize shelf with a few ribbons and some trophies. And then over that we have hung some tinsel. Moving to the left, there are some more feed bags standing on the ground, also a bucket with some more carrots, and then we also have our first aid cabinet. It's not very Christmassy in there, but I'll show you anyways. It pretty much looks the same. We have all of the medical essentials, because accidents can happen even when it's Christmas. Taking a step back, we can see our bench along with this small Christmas tree. I think it's really cute, and I love the smell that the real spruce gives. On the bench we have this really cozy looking scene. There's a Christmas horse magazine along with a candy cane, a cup of hot chocolate, and also a blanket, because it is absolutely freezing at this time of year. Anyways, let's move over to the tag section of this room. There are several different posters on the wall here, which you've probably seen in previous videos. And then we of course have our saddle racks. We don't have many saddles here at the moment, but on the first one we have a bareback girth, which is like a girth with stirrups. Then we have my saddle for Esmeralda. Then there's a Western saddle and another English saddle. And the other 2 racks are empty at the moment. On the wall next to the saddle racks, we have a big shelf with several different things. In the first shelf, there is a camera. It looks like a DSLR. We also have some kind of prize, a book, and a box. In the second one, there are just a bunch of grooming supplies and a grooming box. In the third shelf, there is a hoof oil, I believe, a carton of milk and a carton of orange juice, a GoPro, and a box with some spurs. In the next one, there is another grooming box, some deworming medicine, and another box. Moving on, there's one with a magazine holder, a couple of shoes, some kind of supplement oil, and a Christmas card, it looks like. Then in the one beside that, there's a carton of apple juice, some hoof oil, and some horse treats. And then in the bottom two shelves, there is a blanket and a cowboy hat. At the very bottom, there are two drawers. In the first one, we keep a bunch of hats and extra clothing like that. And then in the second one, we have bell boots, splint boots, and other boots for the horse's legs. In the cabinet beside that, there's not really much. There's a bucket with some grooming supplies and a purse. And in the two smaller cabinets over that, we keep all of our saddle pads. Moving from the shelf, we see our blanket rack, which is usually completely full of blankets, but now there are only 3 left because it's really cold. So the horses that go out need to bundle up. Leaning on the big shelf, there's a Dover saddlery bag with a saddle pad in it. And in the other corner, we have our barn cat Millie chilling by the fire extinguisher for some reason. On this rack, we keep all of our halters and lead ropes. Then moving to the left, we see our tack box, which we had to move to make room for the Christmas tree. And then on the rack over that, we keep all of our bridles. Then we also have these very tiny hooks to store bits on. We have a variety of rubber bits, also a leather bit, and there's also this little tiny horse keychain, which I'm going to hang on some kind of halter, and I just think it's so adorable. And of course, we have our helmet racks, which I think look really neat. Before we move over to the stable area, I want to show you this lovely wreath that one of my friends made, and we hung it up on the light here, and I think it looks so pretty. And we also have 2 pictures, one of Margot and Yulia, and one of Mariposa and Yulia. Alright, now let's take a look at the Christmassy stable area. So let's start at the left side of the stable. In the corner right here, we keep our wheelbarrow. And this first stall belongs to our dapple gray pony, Sassy. So we decorated all of the stalls with tinsel, and I also hung a stocking on the front of the stable door. If you were wondering, all of the stall doors are sliding, and now you can see a little Sassy in there. By the way, she has completely recovered after our accident. She is back into work and everything has healed just fine. And of course, in the middle stall, we have my pony Esmeralda. And I decorated her stable as well with tinsel and a stocking. And in front of her stall, we have her morning feed and a bag with treats. I stuck this cute Santa hat onto her halter, and surprisingly, she hasn't rubbed it off yet, so that was lucky. And if you were wondering, she's doing just fine. We've been doing some regular work, a lot of flat work recently, and she's great. The last stall of the row is decorated with tinsel and a wreath, and it belongs to Mariposa, our rescued mare. She's a bit too skittish to be wearing any Santa hats or anything festive like that, but I still love her just as much. And the centerpiece for the stables is of course the lovely spruce Christmas tree. And there are already some gifts under it. I wonder who they're for. In the other stall next to the Christmas tree lives a gray mare called Fifi, and she's wearing a very festive halter. And her stall is only decorated with the tinsel, along with her very not festive fly mask. Moving along, we see our lovely wash stall. And in it stands a new resident of the Daisy Stalls Equestrian Center. He's a fjord called Hothouse, which is a Norwegian name, and he's currently being saddled up by Natalie. Anyways, inside of the wash stall we have this black mat to prevent the horses from slipping. We also have a watering hose and a bucket. We decorated with some tinsel as well as putting a star in the window over there. Oh, and there's Natalie's dog. Anyways, in the very last stall we have our Haflinger mare Dokka. And she's also very decorated for Christmas. She looks adorable. And her stall is also decorated with tinsel and a stocking. And it looks like someone has put a carrot in her stocking. I'm very surprised she hasn't gotten to eating that already. And the final things is this broom and hay fork standing in the corner. And that concludes my Christmas stable tour. I really hope all of you enjoyed this Christmas barn tour and that you're getting in the Christmas spirit. And if you don't celebrate, I hope you have a very lovely time regardless. I wish you all a happy winter time and a Merry Christmas, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!